Your Excellency, the President of Uganda, First Lady Mama Janet Museveni, the Vice President, Honorable Nabanja, the Prime Minister, the Speaker of Parliament, Ministers, Chairman, all of you, the Chairman, and all of you who are here, allow me, first of all, to congratulate the President upon his nomination as our presidential candidate. Your Excellency, allow me, sir, also to congratulate the members, especially the Chairman, who worked very hard to mobilize the signatures of the President. You did a good job and we did not waste a lot of time on that. I want also to use this opportunity to thank the Secretary General, to thank Yaruhanga and the manifesto team for the good job well done. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, sir, we thank you for having accepted to go back to the drawing table to come out with a new manifesto which is going to take us for another 5 years. We are ready, the country is ready, and I can assure you, Your Excellency, that we are going to win. But for us to sell this manifesto, there are some things which we need to know. First, discipline. If we don't pull up on discipline, things might be difficult for us. I'm appealing to you, honorable members, first of all, to love one another. Let us work together. This infighting must stop, and stop now. It must stop and stop now. Let us move together as one group. Let us campaign as one group. We can reach anywhere. And this time is going to be very soft for us because we are going to use our structures to campaign. We must respect our structures and we must use our structures. I've moved around. People are tired of getting people from Kampala to go to the hotels and sit there. We are very firm on the ground, and you must use all the powers we have on the ground using our structures. If we do that, there will be no problem whatsoever. Your Excellency, sir, people have been waiting for quite a long time, and I don't want to waste time here because I'm not even supposed to give a speech today. It is a day for you, Your Excellency, to come and deliver the manifesto to us. I use this opportunity to invite him to come and deliver the manifesto. Your Excellency, sir. Hey!
NRM oye! NRM Joe! Okay, Bepin Mutule wansi kaa chini. Her Excellency the Vice President, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, the First Vice Chairman of the NRM, the former leaders, all the vice chairpersons of the NRM, the Secretary General of the NRM, members of SEC, and all the people who are here for this launch. First of all, I again want to thank the NRM fraternity and leadership for being strong with the NRM all these years. And secondly, I want to thank you for supporting my candidature. First of all, electing me chairman of the NRM again for another 5 years, 2025 to 2031. And then also electing me as flag bearer for presidential contest for the President of Uganda for the period 2026-2031. Thank you so much for the support. I thank my nominators, Dr. Gunda and the Muzukuru from Arua, who nominated me. Now here, with the manifesto, we are not just talking about this manifesto. We are talking about the work of the NRM for Uganda and with Uganda for the last 60 years. However, for today, I will use an ABCDE approach to share with you how we should understand the issues and present them to the people. Because sometimes people talk about too many things and people get confused. What is not covered in the ABCDE here, which I'm going to summarize, is the liberation part, where the NRM was involved in the liberation process between 1965 and 1986. That one I will not go into. But our theme today of protecting the gains and ensuring a qualitative leap to high middle income status is our logical next step now, given what we have already gone through. Everything we are saying is linked. It is not one thing, they are all linked. And they are all in this manifesto. Now under A, I have got 7 points, which are what Secretary General Tolong and Biarhanga talked about. What the NRM has given to Uganda has first of all been peace. Peace to the country. No war. And security. This has been ensured by you people, the Wananchi, and the UPDF. So this is number one. This is number one gain. Peace and security. Peace is assured. Our army is very strong. Nobody can bring war here. If you bring war here, we destroy you. Where we need to do some work is on security.
500K, sorry, dollar up, now 650K. Offline, price jumps like dollar, but on Gigi, price stays. Why stress offline? Buy, sell, use. Gigi.
Goats, chicken, they are stolen. And you find the policemen are colluding with they arrest people, release them, even the judiciary. You, the leader, should not accept this in your areas. Don't accept any policeman who is not very strict with the thieves. Any thief who steals properties of the villagers must go to jail and stay there and pay for what he stole before he comes out. Be very strict, don't play around. So that is number one, peace and security. The number two, development, meaning development of social infrastructure like schools and health centers, the details which they put there, and also economic infrastructure. They are all there in the manifesto. The roads, the railway, the airways, they are all covered. Development covers infrastructure mainly, economic infrastructure, and social infrastructure. So that is number two. Number three is wealth creation. You, the leaders, you should really know that to strengthen the NRM more and durably, you must do what we in the student movement did in the 1960s when we started the campaign in the cattle corridor. That's why I used to invite you to come to Raikitura, because that cattle corridor, the people were very, very backward. They were nomadic, poor houses and so on. They had cows, but they had no value. But when we analyzed and we saw what the problem was, I have written about all this, how we fought their nomadism, and then when they settled down, we guided them on the enterprise of dairy. The cattle corridor now is quite prosperous, in spite of the infrastructure not being so good. If you go to Ngoma, the infrastructure is not so good, but people have money there, cars and so on. They can show you that money in Ngoma, Matongo. Show them briefly, if you have it. On the screen.
Mazina zinge George Matongo wa Ngoma Ngoma tuhano kwetaka tuzi nandutaha muno gwanje ndi muyisa nteze mweja kureba nuko itandikira tatakanda yetu wafuya talobo hagwatedana meirisa zakanya nagura amataka nyusiye nazo zakorera utwenda zashurutiza abana bihereze naturu kabanza umunyankwe naja nahindura kumwata ngo njungu nukuzahanyuranye natunga atuzungu zo ndisumuti.
On our farm, we collect over 900 liters of milk per day, and a liter costs 800 shillings, which is approximately 21 million per month.
Now there, you are looking at transformation. These people, when we started with them in the 1960s, they were like our Karamojong people. The way you see the Karamojong now, that's how they were. But when we persuaded them to settle down, and we had to, there's a way we did it, and then we had to solve the issue of what enterprise can they do that will give them income. Now you see how they are. They have money, they have built very good houses, as you can see. That girl is a university graduate, so former norm, and she studied on private sponsorship. So if you say you are a leader, and you say Enkula Don Globo, Apol, but you don't talk about Obugaga, Obugeiga, Obuguda, Lonyo, of the people. Not just one rich man in the village. All the villagers must have income, must have money. Let's be very clear about this. This is where even the political problems come from, that if people get out of poverty, I will show you Ijara. I like Ijara so much. Show them Ijara, the one of Serere.
Hello, my name is Joseph Ijala. I'm the proprietor of Taifa Farm, which is located in Serere, in a place called Kapusi, where we are. And in Taifa, we have dairy, poultry, and we're also making laundry bar soap. But we also have the value addition aspect.
To cut a long story short, Ijara gets 3 million shillings per day from eggs alone. Then milk, you can see, has got a lot of modern cows, exotic cows. In a year, he gets more than 1 billion. Now, because he was a taxi driver, these who shout for taxis. That's what he was. But he had 2.5 acres at home. So when he had my message, he went back to the village. He's now, from eggs, from milk, he's earning more than 1 billion shillings a year. And when he removes costs, he remains with about 800 million net. Now you see the house he has built there. But what is interesting, when I visited him, he forced me, almost at gunpoint, to accept a gift of a cow. The other people asking me for money. This one was now forcing me to accept a gift of a Frisian cow of 6 million shillings. This one here. So really, I'm tired of talking about things which are clear, and then people go on talking about irrelevant things. So there is a difference between development, enkulaakulana, entunguuka, donglobo, and wealth. Wealth is in the homes of people. Because when you go to rallies, people are talking about roads, cities. They're talking about cities. City. District. They want district because someone wants to be chairman. But if you start with the wealth, there's no way we can go wrong. That is number 3. Number 4, jobs. Jobs. Where did jobs come from? Jobs come from wealth. Yes, there are a few public service jobs, but those are not enough for all the people of Uganda. The bigger number of jobs is from the private sector. And when people, but how does the private sector create jobs? You create wealth. The wealth is yours, your personal wealth. But in the process, you create jobs. You want me to show you Biamkama now? Okay, let's first see the jobs of the factories. Freeze that, freeze there. Now you see how many young people are working in that factory. Oh, very good. Freeze it there. Just see the number of the young people in that factory. So people just talking, jobs, talking. Total lack of seriousness. The factories are now employing 1.2 million Ugandans now, those factories, the 50,000 they talked about. The whole of the public service is 480,000 jobs. But these new factories, which have just come, because you can see they're all brand new, they are already employing 1.2 million people. But agriculture, you saw here, can employ even more Ugandans than the factories. Let us see Yamkama, the young boy who came to Parliament and listened to my message.
My name is Fred Yamkama. I'm a member of Parliament of Buganges West constituency, Kakubiro district. We are now at our 4-acre demonstration farm. The land we have here is approximately 4 acres. This is a farm we started 2 years back here, 2.5 years back. And on this farm, we have half acre of pineapple, 6 cows for zero grazing. We have poultry, about 25,000 birds, but only 11,000 are giving us eggs. And we have 1 acre of grass. We have piggery, those are very many. And 1 acre of coffee mixed with banana. Where we are, this is the 4-acre model farm. I did this activity to teach my voters, to lead by example, so that my voters can learn what measure the president tells the public. This is an initiative I learned from the president sometime back when he sent me to learn to Kaumu, to Kisozi. I copied what I copied, this is what I came up with. And you will see as we move, or that side, this side, that's my 4-acre model farm. The house as well. Don't sleep here, but if I will sleep here, the house as well is seated on this 4-acre model farm. When you look at poultry, out of the 25,000 birds, it's only 11,000 giving me eggs. Others are soon giving me, and I get 302 trays per day minimally, because 11,000 birds are supposed to give me 366 trays. But because of the feeding method of deep litter, I don't get all the eggs. I get 302 trays per day minimally. Then I sell in a month, you can get a net profit of 55 million. Because you get 108 million, but you can't get all that. You have to buy feeds, pay workers, pay electricity. It remains with 55 million net pay. When you get the cows per month, These are 6 cows. Each cow minimally gives you 20 liters. So when you get 20 times 6, that's 120 liters per day. 120 liters per day. For us, a liter here is 2,000 because we sell each cup at 1,000. So you get 2,000 times 120, you get 24,000 per day. So 24,000 per day, when you multiply, you get about 7.6 million per month. But 7.6 million per month, you cannot save it. You have to get 200 to pay these workers, sometimes even the drug for spraying. That is zero grazing, you spray for ticks and other things. At the end of the day, you remain with a net profit of 6 million from the cows for zero grazing. So this is our grass. Here, 1 acre of grass. This 1 acre is enough feeding our 6 cows. And our cows are feeding well with this grass we have. When you get like the half an acre of pineapple per harvest, you get about 4.5 million, and I harvest twice a year. You will see, even as now, there are those which I can harvest for my friends to take. When you look at the piggery, in a month, I can get about between 150 and 180 piglets. But those I don't sell, I give to my neighbors to prayer. When you look at coffee, we normally harvest 12 million. We normally harvest 12 million from 1 acre because we're just starting up the first. We had the first harvest, and when you get about 12 million, but when you get very well, and you have fertilizer, you get between 18 and 24 million. From 1 acre, coffee alone minus banana. And this banana, at the end of the month, you can get about 1 million, 1.8 million. But I don't sell my banana, I use it for eating. So I simply get my coffee to ensure the other 12 million I'm telling you, which we are getting from this 1 acre, because we have tested it where you receive. And here, currently, I'm employing 26 people.
Now, this is what I wanted to see. Put the workers over, this is what I wanted you to see. Byamukama, who was unemployed himself a few years ago, when he came and listened to my message and went back, and of course he had land, but he was not using it. Now he's earning that money you had, that from eggs alone, he gets a net of 55 million shillings per month, net. In a year, that's because he's selling 302 trays per day. In a year, that's about almost 700 million shillings, 600 million more.
Build your brand with quality print and packaging. Flyers and brochures, calendars, packaging, branding. Just print it.
$2.5. There's another man called Nyakana who used 1 acre and point something, and he employs 15 people. And I have made a calculation for you, saying that, okay, if Nyakana and the people like Byamukama can employ 15 people using 1 acre, what if we had people with land, and we had 7 million acres owned by some of our people who use it like Nyakana? You calculate and you will see. The jobs we shall create will be 105 million jobs. So, what about Nyankole Koro Kuchola Mirwa? You know, when people can't think properly, must end. You find people talking about things as if people going to the Middle East to look for, what are you going to look for jobs for? The Middle East should be coming here to work here. You leave jobs here, you go to work in the Middle East. Now, this Byamukama now, in just 2 years after listening to my message, is employing 26 people. You can see them, and he's paying them, he's feeding them. If we use the Nyakana calculation, 15 people out of 1 acre. Let's see Nyakana. Show us Nyakana. I will not show the whole time because I want to move.
My name is Nyakana Richard from Rwengaju. This village is called Rwengaju Village in Karabarole, Fort Portal City. And where we are here is my home and it's my farm. The biggest landlord in this village of Rwengaju is having 7 acres. People are surviving on 1/4 acre, 1/2 acre. 80% of the population here, they are on 1/2 acre. They are on 1/4 acre. This farm and this home is seated on 1.25 acre. It is surveyed land.
We don't have time to listen to the whole story, but for him he's selling, I think, 120 trays of eggs per day, and he's using that 1 acre for eggs. Those eggs, and for milk, those cows of his give him about 120 liters, and he's employing 15 people. So my calculation, if you had people with 7 million, all of us, but with a total of 7 million acres, Uganda has got 40 million acres of arable land. But if we use only 7 million, we will create 105 million jobs. There will be so many jobs that all the refugees in the refugee camps will get out and work, and we'll have to get other Africans from neighboring countries to come and help us. So please, let's get out of sleep. It is wealth which creates jobs. The 4 words now: peace and security, development, wealth, and jobs. Then number 5, service delivery. Service delivery, meaning healthcare, security, crime prevention, education, transport, all those are services. And Todwong and Yarang have talked about them. So you, the leaders, you need to be clear about all this. Now, number 6 is market. Because when you are explaining to the population, they need to know what we all need to do, what is needed to be done. Because political disagreement is caused by wrong assumptions and lack of information. If people don't know where jobs come from, then they blame the government. We have no jobs. And yet he himself can create jobs, he himself, the one who is blaming the government. The government should be blaming him. But why are you not creating jobs? Why are you just idling around? You have the capacity. Now number 6 is market. And this is what Todong was talking about. If we produce it the way we are producing now, all these eggs, all the milk, all the what, who will buy all this? The internal market is there, but it's not enough. Now that leads us to East Africa. So therefore, in our politics, The whole population must be explained that, please, you people are telling you about tribes, Fengabaganda, Fengabanankore, we are Cholis, we Abasoga, what? Please, that language is the language of enemies. When you hear anybody talking like that, you know he's an enemy of the people of Africa. Me, I am a cattle keeper. I've been keeping cows all my life. The people who help me most are the people who buy my milk, who buy my beef, who buy my bananas. So if you come and try to mobilize me, we as Banyankole, kugambira won't stand in Vako. I tell you that Satan, go away. Because they are useless. Yes, the Banyankole help me in a way because I have milk, they have milk. I have cow, they have cows. I have banana, they have banana. So we have volumes in one locality. That's how they help me, by co-producing with me. But otherwise, in terms of market, where my policy comes from is Uganda and is East Africa. The milk factories which we have now, if we did not have Uganda, we did not have East Africa, they would have closed. Because the production of milk is now 5.3 billion. The internal consumption is only 800 million. If we did not have East Africa, the factories would have closed. Sugar, if you look at sugar, production of sugar in the Busoga area and Bunyoro, we are now at 700,000 tons. The internal demand is 300,000. Where are we selling the rest? To the neighboring countries. So please, the NLM leaders, when we talk of Pan-Africanism, we talk of patriotism, love Uganda, we are not just talking theory, it is survival. Anybody who does not agree with us on that is an enemy. You should know that he's an enemy or she's an enemy and must be exposed, because he will endanger our future. And everybody, even a villager, should be told, they should know this. That's number 6. Under A, Nchariku A, I'm still on A now, because you are the ones who invited me. Why did you invite me? Now, finally, number 7, strategic security. How can Africa guard itself against all threats? Africa was in danger when we were colonized. Other countries which were colonized, the people were exterminated. If you go to America now, the people they call Americans now are not the original Americans. They are Europeans who came and took the land of the Indians, and they are the ones who call Americans now. Africans survived because we don't die easily. But we cannot again make a mistake of being weak. So therefore, when it comes to army, having a strong army, strong economy, that's why we believe in East African integration, both economically and politically. And that's why we talk of the East African Federation. We have been discussing all these years with our colleagues in Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan. Congo now has joined, Somalia, Burundi. You, the young people, must push this. What politics are you engaged in if you don't talk about that? You don't talk about wealth, you don't talk about jobs, you don't talk about market. What are you talking about? that you are a politician. What are you politicking about? So here I'm just giving you free consultancy about the politics you should talk about. Now that is A. We come to B now. Now, since this is the anatomy of prosperity and strategic security, how far have we gone? In that manifesto and in my speech, you will see that we have gone through 5 phases. Phase number 1 was minimum economic recovery. When we found you didn't have sugar, you didn't have soap, the whole economy had collapsed. And we brought back those products. Okujao, Ebola, shortages, when we deal with the shortages. There is a story there, I don't have time to go into it. Secondly, we expanded the production. More coffee, more tea, more bananas, more this, more that, more sugar cane. Thirdly, diversification. We diversify many products. That's why you hear that the imports, our exports have now gone to $13 billion. That's what Uganda is now earning, $13 billion from exports of goods and services. So we diversified. We are exporting, you had them to don't telling you what we are exporting. Other than raw materials, we are also exporting industrial products. Then value addition. That is phase 4. And finally, the knowledge economy. The other day, I launched the Chira motors. You show them the Chira motors. That is, those are automobiles designed and built by your children, by your colleagues. Those young people you see there. Let me see whether when I took a picture with them recently. Now, we are developing all this. The pictures of my scientists, where are they? I took a picture with them. Now, what is doing all this? First of all, they are the farmers, you saw them. Then the manufacturers, you saw them. The factories which are owned by Ugandans and non-Ugandans. Now, the knowledge economy is being driven by our children, our grandchildren. I took a picture with them there. But funded by the government. On that Chira effort, we have spent $120 million. But we need another $143 million to fully complete it, so that we produce 10,000 vehicles per year, 10,000 buses. Now we're discussing today in the cabinet, and we were saying, once a product is already put forward, why don't the public of Uganda come and buy shares in that factory, so that they also own it, but also contribute contribute to the capital, because now all the capital is coming from the government. But I want to use this occasion to invite the private sector. There is one good boy called Magora. Show us Magora's things. Our people have discovered medicines we are going to save the world from so many problems. I've discovered medicine for cancer. Those are the scientists. Those are the scientists. All those are our grandchildren. There, the children ones. Let's see Magora's efforts, if you have them. Our people have found medicine, apart from the automobiles, the computers, the electric vehicles. Your people have discovered medicine for cancer, for diabetes, that malaria you're talking about, all these other magonjwa yote. But what I want, the appeal now I make, once the government has funded the research.
You just need a starting point. GoDaddy gives you the tools, the expert support, and the push to make it real. Your brand starts here with GoDaddy.
Mukolachi, instead of buying whiskey and so on and so forth, come and buy shares in this factory, those factories. Let's see, that is Magora now. Now, a Kenyan bank called Equity wanted to come and take over the factory. We said no. Because once they bring it, they have the money, they can bring it. But once they bring it, they can shift the factory to Kenya. And we don't want our innovation to go away. So that's why it must be the science, the government supporting our scientists, and then you people coming in with capital, and you co-own. You co-own. So I'm inviting you now. Now that is the knowledge economy. So when you hear us say that Uganda's economy is going to be 500 billion in the next few years, instead of the present 66 billion, it is because of what I have told you here. The value addition, the diversification, now the knowledge economy. This knowledge economy, the economy based on science. Now, C now, ABC. C, in this Kisanya, this coming term, there are a number of mass issues that affect the masses, which you, the leaders, must deal with. Number one, poverty and jobs. You must get rid of poverty in these villages through PDM. And it's very easy. Let's look at our young girls. Show them Rashida Butambara.
Amanya gange yenze namulu Rashida, omutuuze w'ekyalo Kasaka, district Butambala, Gombe Town Council. Nze omu ku baasookera ddala okuganyulwa mu ssente za PDM mu sako yaffe baali bagiyita Kasaka Enterprise Group Botleyaling. Kakati ssente nazifuna ku simu, message yajja nga nfunye 1 million.
Now that is Rashida will go to the 1 million and started with the goats. She's now with the bananas, with the coffee and so on. There's another one of Mukono. I've forgotten her name, the Mukono one. Let's see that one. The one of pigs, Mukono.
Amanya agange nze nampa Harriet nambeera Mangaliba district ya Mukono. Nafuna sente za PDM nasaba $5,000 era ge bampa $5,000 nagafuna ng'ennaku z'omwezi 24 ogw'omukaaga 2023. Bwe nfuna emitwalo gyange 5 nagula embizi 3. Embizi 3 nga zonna nkazi. Nazigula ku mama.
Nampa feared 1 million. She feared. They said 1 million. Million? I can't manage 1 million. She didn't say it. Natia kakade. I feared. They gave me 1 million. I feared. I said, akakade. Sika ulanga ko. What? Nze mumpe $5,000. Don't give me akakade. I have never handled akakade. How will I manage it? But you see now what she did. So you people, let me see. I will show you 2 others. Appeal of Lira, and Tumsime of Release. That will be because I am a film shower.
Amazina mbanyita Tumsime Dezerata omutuze wa Rubirizi district ate yimirira ndi omuseri ya Kizurugo nisima president wa Uganda ayatwire PDM niho kurangire myaka nkaga nina nkatene chinda tungira haka.
Now you hear that she's 64 years old. She had never owned anything in her life. These are the people you have in your republic. Republic of poor people. Somebody 64 years, she has never owned anything in her life. That's what she was saying. Let's see appeal. These films of mine, I give them to you free. They should show them to you free. I think I'm going to make cassettes of films and maybe sell them to you people.
Anya Pelvike, Aburuan to feed Mama Aliri Sen, the Banya Ward, my town council, the Lira district.
Her name is Apio Vicky, a resident of Aling Risel, Banya Ward, Amach Town Council in Lira District. She got the money for PDM in 2023. 970,000 and then 30,000 remaining in the bank. She planted maize. She bought maize 15 sackets. 30,000 each sacket. She used it, actually she planted it in 3 acres of land.
Now Apio did not even have land. So when she got the 1 million, she had 3 acres of land where she planted maize. Then she harvested maize, sold it, and bought those sheep you saw there. But interesting about Apio, she had been married for 20 years. She had never handled 1 million shillings in her life. And she has got adult children. Her children were now teenagers, voters. So this is the disaster you are building up. If omwavu nazara abavu, a poor person produces poor people, what sort of society are you building up? And the leaders don't concentrate on that. They are talking about other things. This is really a betrayal. So therefore, number one, wealth and jobs in the homes. And the solutions are there. PDM is there, Emioga is there. The job of we, the leaders, is Okorondora, to follow up, arrest the thieves who are stealing this money, make sure that all the people in the home, because if we give 1 million in a parish, 100 million, in 5 years we shall have covered 500 families. In the third year, the ones who got first pay back. And in the exchange they will have paid 3 times. So even if we maintain the 100 million in 5 years, we shall have 800 million shillings in the parish. And it will cover 800 homes. But I am going to add, in the exchange, I'm proposing that we add 15 million shillings per parish or per ward for the leaders, so that they can also borrow separately without conflicting with the wananchi. So that's number one. Please, let's not have poor people in the villages. Let's use government programs to get people out of poverty. They can get out of poverty. Because I saw it in the cattle corridor. I saw it myself. We did it. Now the second one, under C, is health, theft of drugs. The other part of health is working very well, the immunization is doing very well, but the theft of drugs. Number 3, crime, police and judiciary corruption. Number 4, free education. Biarhanga talked about it. We must ensure that the children now, in order to see the catastrophe, these people who have been suppressing our program of free education are causing, let us see the skilling hubs. Just show us some of the skilling hubs. The presidential skilling hubs. The children where they are giving testimony. Where the children are giving testimony.
Erinnya eryange nze Musoke Bale Geoffrey ngambira erinnya eryange nze Musoke Bale Geoffrey ngambira mu district y'e Butambala. Najja wano nze Musoke Bale Geoffrey ngambira mu district y'e Butambala. Najja wano nga ndi green, totally green, nga sirina kyemmanyi, nali nsomyeko paka mu siniya ey'okusatu, naye olw'okutaataaganyizibwa kw'abazadde saasobola kweyongerayo. Nentandika okupakasa.
That is now the testimony of all these children. They all dropped out of school because they could not afford school fees. Now, when I trained them just for 6 months, you show them what they are doing. Show us some of the products they are doing. Just 6 months. All those are products of your people who had become hopeless. But 6 months, now I started this skilling hubs in my normal guerrilla way. Because when I try to advise people, they refuse, I go to the bush. That's what I did. The skilling hubs are my bush. Because I've been trying to persuade the powers in Uganda to give free education to our children. They have been refusing. Head teachers, I don't know who, PTA. Now I said, okay, if you have refused, let me, where I have some authority, where I don't have to beg and negotiate, let me start these skilling hubs. I started them. They are free education. The children come, they don't pay anything. They study 6 months, you see what they are doing. And yet what I'm doing is more expensive than what you people should be doing. Because these hubs are zonal. You find one hub in Ankole, one hub in Teso. So the children must be in boarding. I have to keep them in boarding, feed them, and so on. While the UPE, USE are supposed to be day schools, where they study and go back home, so that you don't have the costs of sleeping and eating and all that. So please, the issue of education is free education. In the coming Kisanja, we must really struggle and ensure that it is implemented. Now, then the other issue, number 5, are the roads. The roads, some of the roads are good, but some are in a bad situation. The tarmac roads, there was some under-budgeting which crept in and bad planning. Some of the tarmac roads have not been repaired in time, like the one of Muvende Fort Poto, Muvende Mitiana, even the one of Bunduijo, even the one of, we have identified those roads, we are now going to work on them. But the problem was bad planning in the Ministry of Works, but also bad budgeting. The pressures you bring must have a new district. Now. We must have a city status. Now, what is the point of having Fort Portal city, but the road to the city is in a bad situation? What planning is that? Even my people in Kabale now have been putting pressure on having Kabale city. But we have the road from Muhanga, Ramchuchu, Kisizi, Kepsoni, Ruari, not worked on. Why can't we agree? Because a good road covers everybody. It covers the farmer, covers the political people, covers the students. The city may benefit some people, or a new district, some chairman and so on. So this is where we need to harmonize on the prioritization.
Unlock unlimited internet with Airtel Smart Connect Home and Office Wi-Fi to keep you connected to the things you love. Get unlimited internet for your home or office from just 100,000 Ugandan shillings. Best value, high-speed internet for everyone under one roof. Call 127 or WhatsApp 0708 127 127 to get Airtel Smart Connect. Smart life starts here. Airtel.
For drinking, I'm glad that Yarhanga was talking about that one. That's number 6. Land grabbing, I'm glad somebody talked about it. I heard somebody talking about it. Land grabbing, we're going to fight that. That is now C. Now D is irrigation. Biaranga touched a bit on it. We have got our scientist, Dr. Muranga. She has got, I gave her land in Bushenyi, government land, and she has got a wonderful facility there. Let's see what she's doing there.
This is where our model plantation is. Plantation which you've had, we've already gone beyond 50 tons of yield per hectare per year. Matoke is very important part is water, but especially in the dry season. So here we are using irrigation, drip irrigation, as you can really see, using water, especially in the dry season. Drip irrigation, the advantage with it is that it sends water where it is required. PBD does not depend on national water. We make our own water, which we pump every day. 90% of the water is used for irrigation, and the other 10% is processed for use in pilot plant and estate residential areas. This farm, as per NEMA allows us to use a third of the water flow. But in the dry season, we even just use 12%.
Now there you can see a number of things. First of all, that wonderful banana garden, where Dr. Muranga is producing 53 tons per hectare. The Banyankore nearby are producing only 5 tons per hectare. Muranga now is producing 10 times more than those Banyankore nearby. Why? Because she's irrigating and she's using fertilizers. So therefore, irrigation is very crucial. You can see the weather is not reliable. This is supposed to be a wet season, but the rain is coming, going. It's very risky. We need to shift to irrigation. In this coming Sunday, you will see we are going to do a lot of work to do irrigation. Now finally, E, I want to talk about the youth, our youth. They are very bad people in newspapers like The Monitor, of course from international, who give messages to our young people which need to be helped. They try to make our young people only concentrate on pleasure, ebinyumo, chi. Now I want to inform you that the one who is standing here is a former younger person. And I will show you my picture when I was a young person, if they can show it for me. No, not that one. That one will come later. That picture there, it's a newspaper of 1968. That is my picture there. I was 23 years old or something. So if you are looking for a young person, there's one there. So people don't say young person. Yes, you are talking to a former younger person. This was now 1968, and we had come back from Mozambique. We had gone as a student delegation to Mozambique to support the Mozambican struggle against colonialism. See, we were young. And we liked, once in a while we would go to Ebinyumo to dance, to so on and so forth. Because you know I'm also a rapper. The other day I was rapping. But at the same time, we had to struggle for our people, because that time the whole of Mozambique was under colonial rule. The whole of Angola was under colonial rule. Zimbabwe, South Africa itself, Namibia. So, if we had just concentrated on pleasure, which is what some of these people push our young people towards, where would we be? If you go to South Africa now, I hear there are 1 million Ugandans in South Africa. When did they go to South Africa? After we, the young devotees, had liberated it with Mandela. That's when they go there to enjoy and plan bad things from South Africa. These opposition groups. They don't struggle, they just want to go and enjoy, but also spoil. So therefore, the young people, please, young is biology, but you need ideology. Who are young here, and who were together with Mwalimu, who was older than us. Mwalimu was like in his almost 50s that time. We were with Mandela, young, but working with elders who had the same ideas as ours. There were other young people, even in the university. The same university were the young people who had different ideas. For instance, I remember we had some little clash with my brother Ogora the judge. He was on the other side. He was always, they had organized something which we didn't agree with. We had to have a showdown. So, you are young, but where do you stand ideologically for Africa? Because we are saying, number one, love Uganda. Other people say, no, don't love Uganda, love your tribe. Where do you stand? You young man, young woman. We are saying, love Africa, because you need it. What do you say yourself? Are we right? Are we wrong? I'm young. You are young. Where will you be if you don't have a country? And so on. Now, but I'm also lucky because I have all the generations. Mom and myself, they say they are following European things, that we are boomers. There was a generation in Europe called boomers, the ones who were born during the Second World War or after, and then other groups. But there are other groups, like my children, are Generation X, apparently. The Moses, the what? Then the millennials. You have heard of all those groups. Millennials, the ones who turned 18 in 2000. Then the Gen Z, Generation Z. Now we have Generation Alpha now, the young ones. So please, especially Mama, the one of education, we need to help our children know how to be ready to protect this country. Because we are talking of defending the gains and taking a qualitative leap. But it must be done by the young people who must know what they are doing. Fortunately, I have all these groups. I have the Generation X in my house, in my nuclear group. I have the Gen Z. You show them my Gen Zs now. This is where I spend time with my Gen Z now. Those are my grandchildren. In the cows. Why should I have a Gen Z who doesn't know about cows? Cows is what kept our people. The bananas, the crops. So please, our young people should not be misled by, I think these are, if you read the articles in the Monitor, that Monitor is an enemy paper. Their job is to soften Africa. Of course, you remember they were promoting homosexuality. You remember? Those groups. So they want to destroy Africa culturally by rendering our children to be disoriented. Yes, I am a footballer. In fact, you have got a real problem with me. Because me, I am a footballer. I like football. I used to play football, but I had to forget about it and sort out Idi Amin and so on. I am a rapper. If you want me to swing you in walls, dance, swing you around and toss you around, I can toss you. But I am also a worker. We must have young people who work, who create wealth. Yes, they can have pleasure, but pleasure must be with or after work. So with these few words, it's now my pleasure to do what? I launched the manifesto now.
Another round of applause. Your Excellency, you are going to sign. Can somebody who is in charge make the preparations? Bring the dummy so that His Excellency the President, and will be accompanied by 6 people who have been selected as the representatives with a specific reference. We shall have High Excellency the Vice President joining His Excellency the President. We shall have the Right Honorable Speaker. We shall have Alhaji Moses Chigongo representing the members of the Central Executive Committee. We shall have the Secretary General. We shall have the Prime Minister and Moses Byaruhanga representing the committee. Can you please move the Secretary General lead the team, Your Excellency the Vice President, those 6 people will represent all of us who are here, so that and all the generations are represented in the team that has been selected. There is also going to be a photo opportunity after this, and it's going to be by the members of SEC, members of the Central Executive Committee. They are going to join His Excellency the President after the signing for the photo opportunity. Nele Troop, you know what you are supposed to do at this time. I don't want to. I didn't want to amend anything. I think so. It would be nice. Money. I amended the thing. SFC, they gave me this list. They brought it. Remember, after.
As they are having their photo moments, to take a video and take a photo. We are legendary something that I'm going to perform.
I thought they had the village. Yeah. Can we have the members of the Central Executive Committee joining His Excellency the President for the photo opportunity? Members of SEC that are seated this side. And they'll be joined by the Secretary General of PLU. Please. The members of the manifesto committee, are they here? The members of the manifesto committee, that's going to be the last photo opportunity.
We'd like to take this special moment to thank the members of SEC and also
Come on,
Ladies and gentlemen, may we rise for the anthems.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency and Mama, for this historic occasion. We are going to have some artists do the presentations, and at this time we shall invite Chameleon and Bebe Cool to do a presentation. As we see off His Excellency the President, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mama. And please resume your seats so that we conclude the meeting has gone. Before they come, can we have the announcement?
Stabilité,
get a copy of the manifesto. Make sure members get a copy of the manifesto before you leave. Manifestos are going to be distributed. Those who have come here should go with a copy of the manifesto. Make sure you pick yourself a copy of the manifesto before you leave this place. We have an administrative announcement.
You want me to okay? Can't be. Montwale.